Okay, we are live. Give it just a minute, see if anybody joins us.
So exciting.
Yeah, I'm going to put a little QR code up while we wait for a few people to show up. This is QR code. You can point your phone at that and it will take you right to Monique's website, Sculpting Bodies at sculptingbodies.com, right?
Yes. Yes.
All right, so go ahead and use that QR code to learn more about Monique, and we'll go ahead and get started here. All right. I have the beautiful Monique Caitlin here with me today. I had the great honor of getting to know her. Gosh, I think it's been a few weeks now. Yeah. So this is part of the Business in Abundance series I'm doing where I put mind, body, spirit, and wellness entrepreneurs, coaches in the spotlight, really get to know them, share about them, and hopefully magnetize them to some dream clients. So I'm very excited to have Monique here with me today. She has an incredible story. I admire her so much, just what she shared with me about her background. And so I'm really, really honored to have you here with me today, Monique. So just to kind of start us off, I would love to hear where you're from, anything you want to share about that, and then let us know what it is that you do. We'll start there.
All right. Well, first, thank you so much for having me here today. This is so exciting. That was such a beautiful intro. You're so sweet. So I'm so glad we were able to finally meet and connect. So I'm Monique, like you stated. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, actually. I now live in Miami, Florida. I've been down here 4 years now, actually just hit the 4-year mark. So I am actually a fitness coach and a nutritionist. So what I do, I work online and I work with women to help them feel confident, help them to shed some fat while also building some muscle, but also help them feel beautiful in their own skin again, help them love themselves again, and just to help them live the life that they're destined to live. So I love, like, I'm so inspired and love and passionate about working with women and getting them to that next level.
I love that. And it's so important, I think, as women. Got some funny light coming here, a little rainbow shining in. I think, as women, no matter what age we are, what size, what shape we are, we struggle with our body image, and we struggle with even knowing how to take care of our bodies sometimes, and as we age and we go through different stages in our life. So I think having the knowledge, and then just that support, the confidence, the empowerment of a coach or a guide or someone who can really help keep us on track when we lose sight of our goals is so important. So I love what you're doing, and I love your mission to really help women feel beautiful about themselves.
Thank you. Like you said, it's so important, especially nowadays with, the internet and technology. Is great that we have all these tools and resources, but it becomes too much. Like, there's so much out there that becomes overwhelming. So if you are trying to lose weight and you Google like how to lose weight, there are 20 million different things that come up and they're all crazy. One will say like, oh, do this keto diet, or, oh, only eat 1 meal a day, or, oh, just, use this tummy wrap and use this cream. And here's a fat loss pill. It's just so much out there. So it's so confusing and hard to know where exactly to start. So that's why I got into this. I really want to help women, show them the correct way to really treat your body without going down these rabbit holes and doing all these different gimmicks and starving themselves, So like you said, it is so important.
And I know I myself have gone down many of those rabbit holes. I don't even want to know how much money I've spent on, shakes and pills and exercise equipment and gym memberships. And sometimes what you really need is like that accountability, that guidance, and that support. You don't need all of that other stuff. You just need the tools and the person to love you and help you love yourself in the process. So I think That's so important. One of the things that really stood out to me, and I think is important for women to hear, because you have this incredible physique. You've worked really hard for it.
Thank
But you've actually gone through a lot of ups and downs in your own life. And
you.
I just, what struck me is your incredible discipline and your will. And I think that's something that a lot of women struggle with. I'm curious, what would you say gives you that strength and that determination and that will to keep going and taking care of yourself even when life throws challenges?
For me, this may sound crazy, but I'm addicted to success. I'm addicted to bettering myself because I know the human body can endure so much. It can do so much. And I love to push myself and see what my limits are. I love to see how far I can go and how far my body will allow me to go. So even though, yeah, there's going to be ups and downs in life, there's going to be rough patches, I like to keep going and keep telling myself like it will get better. Yeah, we're at rock bottom right now, but the only way to go is up. And so I like to keep pushing myself and just seeing what I can do, how I can get there, how far I can go. And just, like I said, seeing how successful I can be with it. And then when it comes to, like you said, how to, keep going with everything, for me, I love feeling good. So if my body just doesn't feel too good, even if I'm down in the dumps and, I'm starting to put a lot of trash in my body, and you realize that you don't feel good after a while. Like it's weighing down on you, not only physically, but mentally and emotionally as well. So I love to feel good and actually just like have a natural high and be able to just keep going in life. So I always try to strive to eat better and get my body moving because I know that correlates with me feeling better mentally, physically, and emotionally. So I think that's what really motivates me, is to just keep going, feeling my best naturally, and just to strive for success.
What would you say to the women out there who are kind of stuck? Maybe they've lost that motivation a little bit. They're having a hard time either, I don't like the term, what is it, getting back on the back on the wagon. But when they really need that extra push and they're not kind of finding it in themselves, they know what they need to do, even if it's like taking that first step, getting out, going for a walk, throwing away the junk food. What would you say to somebody who's in that place where they're just like they can't get themselves going?
I would kind of look deeper and ask why. Like, what is your why? Why should you do this? Yeah, like you said, if you do know, okay, I need to eat better. Oh, I need to get my body moving. Okay, why? Like, will it actually help you lose weight? Okay, great. Why? Why do you need to lose weight? Does that mean like you're going to have more energy? Okay, great. Why? Why do you want more energy? And then usually when you keep asking yourself that, it digs deeper and then you find the root cause. Like, okay, I need to lose weight to have more energy so I can run around my kids and be here for when they get older so I don't die at a young age of heart disease. Like that's why once you really dig deep and find out that why, then you find that internal motivation and intrinsic motivation to be like, okay, no, I need to be here for my husband, or I need to be here for my kids, or I don't want to get diabetes or cancer that runs in my family, like trying to take preventative measures. So just kind of when you are down in that funk, just kind of ask what your why is and why you need to do this, why you should keep going. What is the real root cause and reason for this? And then that may help spark some motivation in you.
I love that. I love doing that for all areas of life, really. When you're not motivated and you're, trying to get back into that groove, is go into the
Mhm.
why. When it comes
You
to
have
work, relationships, you got to just keep asking that question until you get to like the core. So I love that. Um, I know that you've had some, you haven't always had a bodybuilding physique, right? I know you've been very athletic your whole life, but I'd love to hear just a little bit about your own journey, because I think it helps women to, that sometimes I think we look at people who are really fit and we think, oh, they just work out all the time and they're always disciplined and, they don't
Mhm.
struggle. But I'd love to hear just a little bit about your own personal journey.
So that is definitely not true. People that do bodybuild and work out a lot, we do struggle. Like I'm putting it out there for y'all to know, we struggle. We have our days where we just want to lay in bed all day or just sit on the couch eat bonbons. Like we are not always like, oh, let's go eat these egg whites. We do not feel like that 24/7. Like I promise you that. So for me, my bodybuilding career actually started in 2018. My very first show was November 2018. And I got into it because honestly, at first I had gained about 50 pounds and I had gone through, a lot of rough patches in my life in that past year, and like between 2016 and 2018, where I stopped being active. I had been active my whole life. And then at that point I had just stopped, became very depressed, gained weight. And so I wanted to really lose the weight. And I knew, because like I said earlier, I wasn't feeling good. I was feeding my body a lot of trash. I was eating all the wrong foods, drinking a lot, not moving my body. And I just did not feel good mentally, physically, emotionally, all that. So I wanted to get back to where I was and just get better and enhance that. So I actually ended up talking to one of my friends who was a trainer at a gym and asking for his help. And he actually straight up told me, like, I can't help you, but I do know someone who can, which I thought was very amazing, since most trainers, like, the minute you tell them, oh, I need help, they're instantly going to be like, oh, I can help you. Like, he was so honest up front, like, no, I'm not for you, but I know someone who is. So he actually introduced me to my now current still bodybuilding coach. And when I first met my coach, I had told him, I just want to lose 50 pounds. Like, I just want to get back in shape. And he told me, he's like, yeah, we can definitely do that. But, you have a great physique. He was already able to look past my fluff, that I like to call it. And he was able to actually see my shape and physique as a whole. And he was like, we can actually get you on stage. And to me, it was so funny because that was always a dream, but it was in the back of my mind. Like, I had thought about that a few years prior. But like I said, I had gone through so much. I had gained all this weight and I just wanted to lose the weight. So going on stage, it was like literally, like I said, back of my mind, back burner. But when he said that, I'm like, all right, cool. Let's try this. Let's see what happens. As long as I lose the weight, that's all I care about. So we had started, I want to say June. Yeah, I think end of June 2018, we had started. I was on a very aggressive regimen and I was working out 6 days a week. And by November, I had dropped 55 pounds and I was able to step on stage and I took third place at my very first show, which was surprising to me. I'm like, because I had no expectations. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what I was doing. Like, I felt like I was on stage just kind of turning around. Like, I didn't know what I was doing. So when they called my name out for third place and I had this cute big pink trophy, I was like, oh, I'm like, oh, we actually have a feature at this. We could try this. So I got inspired and motivated and I just kept going. And then, like I said, November 2018 was the first one. My next show was March 2019. I ended up taking first place in all my classes. And then I did another one September 2019. I won that whole show. I became Miss Ohio. And then I did another one a week after that, won that whole show. And it kept getting better. And then now to this day, I've done probably 7 shows. I've been in nationals twice, placing top 10 both times in nationals, taking home first place trophies. And now it's something I love. And it's just a passion of mine. And I just keep going with it and seeing how I can better myself.
I imagine, first of all, just putting yourself on the stage that way, so exposed, your whole body, everyone's looking at, every little
complete strangers, half naked.
Like, that must have been so scary, but also just the feeling of winning and being recognized and being like validated for this really hard work that you had put in. I mean, just to go through that process and then keep doing it. And I'm sure it's very motivating and very inspiring for you to get on that stage and to win. And I'm just like, that's amazing. That's incredible. Incredible.
And so much confidence for you too. Cause like you said, at first, you're up there like, oh my God. Like, when I tell you my anxiety was through the roof, because I'm just like, I don't know these people. Like, I'm not the type that, is out there.
Like a little tiny bikini. Like,
now you got me up here and no one else is on the stage. You're on there by yourself doing your own little routine and like this little bikini and heels and everyone's
I can't think of anything much scarier than that, actually.
Yeah, like, you were so vulnerable at that moment. Yes. And all these people are literally judging you. Like, you win based off their judgment.
Yeah, like, and you're having to go up there and remember how to flex like very specific muscles, right?
And you're cramping. It's just a whole thing. Wow. But over time,
you're probably lightheaded because you're like cutting carbs. Aside from that,
like, this is too much. But
it's an incredible act of like discipline and willpower and strength. And I think when I think of that and like all people really have to do is probably a fraction of that to
Yeah.
really be healthy, or to maintain, or to, protect their heart, to do some of that preventative, and I know for, myself, I'm in my 40s now, so things don't change as fast as they used to. And, you know, fat stays in different areas. So what would you say to women in their 40s, going through those hormonal changes, who feel maybe like, oh, it's, I can't change my body. I can't, I'm just sort of stuck with this. And what would you say to them? And then also when it comes to like excuses, I think that we very easily make excuses. I know I sometimes am so busy working, sitting at my desk, getting things done, that I don't make that exercise a priority, or I go too long, not eating, and then I'm really hungry, and I eat the wrong thing, or I eat too much. So, I think that a lot of women can probably relate to that. So I just would love to hear, what do you say about those those things?
So going off the first thing about women like in their 40s and all that, I wholeheartedly believe you can do it. Anyone can change. It's going to take more time. I'm not saying it's going to be so easy, flip of a switch, you're there. But if you're in your 40s, especially going like through menopause and all that, it is going to be a little more frustrating, because your body's adapting and adjusting to these new changes. You don't really know what's going on. You don't know, how to maneuver it. But over time, you will be able to figure that out and see what your body likes, what it doesn't like, what works for you, what doesn't work. But you can change. I've worked with so many women who are menopausal, postmenopausal, that are in their 40s, 50s, 60s. They have all made incredible results. But is it the same path that I would put, Sally on, that I put Susan on, that I put Tracy on? No, everyone has their own distinct plan that they need based off their body composition, based off of, like you said, if they're in their 40s, if they're hormonal, if they're postmenopausal, like everyone has their own plan. So that's how I help women, finding what works for their specific body. And then if you stick with that, you're going to make the changes. And a lot of people think like, oh, I'm in my 40s, I can't make the changes. You can. It's just going to take a little more work. It's going to take a little more time. It's not going to, like I say, happen just like that. But once you figure out what works for you and how your body reacts and adjusts to things, it will change for you. And I know tons of women who are bodybuilders in their 40s, 50s, 60s. There's even 70 and 80-year-old women bodybuilders out here that are killing it. And my point is, no matter what age you are, I always say, age is just a number. Whatever age you are, you can make it happen. It's just going to be a little harder than it was when you were like 18 or 20, but it's doable. And for the excuses side, I think that like I kind of said earlier, you need a plan. You need to remind yourself of your why, and then come up with a plan. So like you said, if you, are eating good during the day, and then all of a sudden you want a snack later, and you're so hungry, and then you just gravitate to the chips or the wrong things, try to have a plan in place. Try to have your meals set out for the day. Like, okay, this is what I should have at breakfast. This is what I should have at lunch. These are my snacks. This is dinner. And make sure it's all meal prepped. Like if you have it all prepped in the refrigerator, if you have baggies, already marked and labeled and measured out for the amount of snacks you should have, it makes it so much easier for you to just grab that, versus you saying, oh my God, I need to make chicken breast, but I haven't done it yet. I need to make my vegetables. Because then at that point, it's going to be so much easier. Just gravitate to Uber Eats or something. So I always recommend planning ahead. Having a plan makes everything 20 times easier and 20 times better. So make sure, I like to plan like on the weekends, maybe every week on Sunday, meal prep everything. And when I mean everything, I mean like portion everything out, even down to your snacks. Measure it out, have it all baggied, put away so it's easy to grab, so you don't have to think twice about, oh my God, what should I eat? Like what, because then that's when you start overthinking, and you get overwhelmed, and then gravitate to the chips. So that's my advice, honestly, just plan everything.
I think that's also where having the guidance and the support of a coach or a mentor can really help. When you kind of get stuck and you slip a little bit, or you're, going for those things, and having someone you can really open up to and share the journey with, and who's going to be there to support you and not say, oh, you shouldn't have eaten that, that's bad, but really like help you through that process and through that journey. And that brings me to asking, like, how do you work with women in this virtual space, and how do you support women on their journey?
So everything I do, like I said, is virtual, is online, but I have different programs and platforms that we use to deliver their meal plans, their workout plans, whatever it is. And I also do Zoom. And people, they have my phone number as well. If we need to hop on a call, a FaceTime, a Zoom call, whatever. But I check in with my clients every week. On Saturdays, we usually check in. They give me updates on how the week went. They give me pictures, body measurements, stuff like that, so we can kind of see where things are going. If they're not progressing in the way we think it should be, then I'll go change the plan. I do a constant check-in with them. It's not like, okay, here's your plan, I'll see you in like 16 weeks. Like, not feeding you to the wolves here. I'm like constantly checking in. I may be annoying at some point, but oh well. Like, I want to make sure that you like this plan. And I make sure the plans are not restrictive. I make sure that they're not, just so like a bodybuilding plan. Even though I bodybuild, and I make sure I tell everyone this, my plans and my program is not meant for you to bodybuild. If you do want, and I've had women come out to me like, oh, I want to step on stage. I'm like, that's great. I don't do that though. Like, I can refer you to someone, but I want to help women with that sustainable lifestyle to, lose the weight, but also keep it going. I want them to be able to maintain that physique and not, revert back. So that's what my program is, teaching you basically sustainable skills. And my clients, I make meal plans based off of their lifestyle. So I have one client right now, I incorporated her meal plan so it can have 1 glass of wine every single day because she likes her wine. I have someone else that has been going out a lot more on dates. So, we're making sure that we incorporate that into our meal plan, like going out to eat, like, okay, you can eat this, you should eat this. We, save the macros from earlier in the day so she can eat a little more at night. Like, my plan is to help you live a sustainable life, not restrict you, not only eat chicken and broccoli every day, all day. Like, no one's trying to do that. So it's all,
I love that. You really meet each person where they're at. So no matter their age or their lifestyle, they can come to you and say, okay, Monique, is this possible for me to lose these 30 pounds and still have this lifestyle and still, enjoy food and, all of that. So I love that. What would you say to somebody who's like just wanting to get started, doesn't even know where to begin, and whether they work with you or, they're just really motivated and ready to get started? What's like that first piece of wisdom or motivation?
For me, I always say, just get your body moving. And a lot of people, when they get ready, they don't know where to start. They don't know where to turn. Start moving your body. The body loves movement. Try to come up with a plan. Like I said, I love plans. I'm so type A. I'm literally always planning everything out to the minute. So come up with like a plan, maybe, okay, I want to start walking 20 minutes every single day, 5 days a week. Okay, and then after you've done that for like a week or two, bump it up to 30 minutes or bump it up to an hour, then add some strength training. But come up with a plan where you can measure it and increase as you can go so the body can adapt to it. It becomes consistent. The body loves consistency. So as long as you're planning something, getting your body moving and building that consistency, you're going to automatically start seeing changes. And then once you get comfortable with that, same thing like the meal plan. You can start incorporating healthier meals every day. Like, okay, I want to, eat chicken and broccoli maybe 4 days a week, whatever it is. But like, kind of come up with something, make these small changes, make sure you can, adapt to it. You can make it sustainable, track it, see how it goes, and then keep repeating the process so you can build that consistency. And then you'll start noticing these small changes instantly. And then once you are ready for a more in-depth plan, more personalized plan, then you can always reach out to a trainer or coach. But I always say just start small, baby steps, get your body moving, build a plan, work on that consistency until you are ready. And I always say a habit, it takes 21 days to break a habit, whether it's an old habit or build a new one. 21 days. So once you hit that 21-day mark of consistency or cutting out sugar, whatever it is, then you're more comfortable and more confident in going on with a more stricter plan. And then that's at that point, I say reach out to like a trainer or coach, but start working on those small changes first, those first 21 days, and you'll be able to be successful.
That's great wisdom. And it becomes sort of addicting, right?
Aw.
A little guest appearance there. It becomes addicting. I know that, like, even, if you've been out of it for a while and you get back in, like, your body sort of starts to crave that exercise and starts to, like, almost like intrinsically push you to go do that because it wants it. And then, the neurochemicals that start to come into play. I know there's like the dopamine, the serotonin,
all of it. Yeah.
The oxytocin. It does really make you feel good. Oh, sorry. Got a puppy here. So I'd love to hear if women would like to work with you. Tell us a little bit more about how they get in touch with you. What does it look like to get started and to work with you?
Yeah, so there's so many different ways. You can always email me at sculptingbodiesllc@gmail.com. You can follow me on Instagram at sculpting.bodies. You can always shoot me a DM. I even have my application link on there where you can book a call with me, and then we're going to get to know each other. I always have 2 calls I go through. The first one, it's just like a 15-minute consultation, get to know each other, what your goals are, what you're struggling with, stuff like that. And then we have a second call that's about 45 minutes where we dive a little deeper and I get to ask you more questions, go over like the application process, see if we're a good fit to work with each other. And then we go from there, figuring out the best plan for you. But you can always shoot me a DM on Instagram, Facebook. Monique Caitlin is my account name. You can go on there. You can send me an email. So many different ways, or even on the website, go www.sculptingbodies.com. There are so many different links where you can click. It'll say like, oh, let's chat now or book a call now. You'll see it throughout the website and you can book your call then.
Amazing. And I will post all of your links as well under all of the places we are streaming today and be sharing all of Monique's wonderful information. Gosh, thank you so much for being here today. Is there anything else that you would share with us? Just any last thoughts about your mission, your vision, your hope when it comes to, women as a whole, kind of taking care of their bodies and stepping into this self-care, self-love. I know we have Valentine's Day coming up next week, and I think you have something special you might be offering even for.
I was going to say, yes, I do have something fun coming out starting this week and even for the rest of this month, next month as well. My birthday's in a few weeks. I'm having some fun things coming out for my birthday as well. But I love to, like I said, help women feel their most absolute beautiful, confident selves. And I want to remind everyone out there that you can do it despite age, despite condition or whatever you've been through, traumas, whatever. You can overcome anything as long as you set your mind to it. And as long as you stay diligent and dedicated, anything is possible, honestly. And even if you need a little help, that's okay. We all get help. We all get coaches. Like I have a coach. I'm working with my gut right now, working on my gut health. I have a coach for that. I have my bodybuilding coach. Like even I need accountability and help as well, which is okay. So if you get to that point when you do need help, you can always reach out to whether it's me or anyone and just get that ball rolling because anything is possible. You can overcome any struggle or challenge. So if you do want to start working, on bettering yourselves and trying to feel more confident in yourself, you can always reach out to me. I have some great launches coming up for self-care and self-love. You got to come check it out, though. Nothing's been revealed yet, though. So just come stay tuned in the next few days.
I love it. I love the mystery of it. Well, go follow Caitlin on her page, her Facebook, her Instagram. Check out her website. She is absolutely a joy. And I would love to start working with Caitlin. Sorry, Monique.
That's okay. Caitlin's my middle name. You can call me that. That's fine.
Yeah, because you offer so much just confidence, and you also come with such a history of expertise and doing this since you were young. I think just even thinking about how important strength training is. I think when we get older, we don't always, maybe you could share just a little bit about why is that so important, especially for women as we get older, to do some of that strength training and just remind us from that kind of that physiological place.
So it is important, as you said, especially when you get older. A lot of people think oh, you're getting older, you shouldn't lift as much or lift at all. That's not true at all because your body starts deteriorating, the bones start breaking down a little more by, I would say, 25, 30. Your bones start to get a little weaker each time. And everything in your body starts kind of changing. By 25, your hearing starts getting worse. By like 30, 35, the bones start getting more brittle. So it's like everything starts to kind of go downhill starting at 25, honestly. So in order to prevent osteoporosis and to prevent, brittle bones and all that, you want to make sure that you are doing strength training. You want to make sure that you are taking your supplements and having all the collagen and the calcium and having all those good things to preserve the muscle and the bone and all that. So you don't, have brittle bones later in life. So you don't, when you fall, break something easier than if you fall, when you do have the stronger bones. You want to be able to just prevent all that from happening and to just live a healthier life. And like I said, moving your body just feels better. Like you will mentally, emotionally, and physically just feel better the more you move, whether that's strength training, whether that's just going on a walk. Your body is meant to move. Your body is meant to endure a lot, actually. Regardless, if you're 20 or like 60, your body will be okay if you move it and challenge it. You just got to keep it going.
With that, everybody go move your body today. Do something. Go get a walk, do some yoga, stretch. I know I'm feeling motivated and inspired. Monique, thank you so much for coming here today. It's been an absolute pleasure. Please reach out to Monique. I'll put back up the QR code here. You can, there you go. Point your camera at that. It'll take you right to her website. So we'll stay on for another minute or so. So you have an opportunity. Just point your phone right at that. Take you to her website. Do we have any questions in the chat? Does anybody have any questions? Thank you, Desiree. Thank you, Becky, for joining in.
Oh, yay. Thanks so much for joining us. Hopefully this did inspire people to go move more and just start making those baby steps. Like I said, it doesn't have to be some big thing overnight. It doesn't have to be some drastic change. Like, okay, I'm going to be in the gym twice a day, 6 days a week. Like, no, you don't need to do that. Just start making small changes. If that means drinking now half a gallon of water every day when you were only drinking a couple liters, start doing that. If that just means walking 20 minutes every single day versus not doing anything at all, then do that. If that means just incorporating a vegetable with every meal, do that. Like it doesn't have to be so big at first. It can be a small little change, and just as long as you're consistent with it and keep going with it, you'll see the bigger changes.
You're going to feel better. You're going to start to like notice those changes, and it's going to motivate you. And don't forget to give yourself some praise and reward for when you are doing really good and you're being consistent. And not a reward is in a cupcake. A reward is in go get yourself a massage, go get yourself a pedicure, give yourself
a new workout outfit.
Yeah,
and I want to remind people too as well that you don't need to just make progress based off of what the scale says. A lot of people think like, oh, if I'm not losing weight, I'm not making progress. That is not true at all. There are so many things, and I like to call them non-scale victories, that mean you are progressing. You are making those changes and bettering yourself despite what that scale says. And with women, the scale fluctuates so much because when you're ovulating, you start bloating a lot more. When you get that cycle, you're bloating a lot more. If you are stressed from work or school or finances or your husband's bothering you, your cortisol is gonna raise, which is gonna,
or your puppy or your kids.
Yeah, it's like with women, like our water retention fluctuates so much for whatever reason, and it'll reflect on that on the scale. And women think, oh my God, I'm not losing weight. I'm like, that's not true. Honestly, you probably are losing the fat, but you're so stressed.
Recommend as far as how often, because that scale is, it can really get you down if that number goes up and you're like, I've been working out every day, I've been eating so healthy. How often would you say, if at all, people should weigh?
Honestly, you can throw that scale out, to be quite honest. Like, especially if you're someone who's like very like, oh no, I have to check it if it's there and stuff. No, throw it out. Honestly, my clients, I have them once a month if they want to. Honestly, you don't even have to. I measure progress so many other ways, whether that's body measurements. You can, use a tape measure for your neck, your waist, your hips, your arms, seeing how that fluctuates. Seeing how your clothes fit is a huge way to see progress. Seeing, again, like I said, if you never used to drink a gallon of water every day, now all of a sudden you are, it's a huge way to measure progress. If you are able to park as far away from the entrance as possible and walk to the entrance without getting winded, huge progress being made. Like there are so many ways you can measure the changes in the progress despite what the scale says. And then even if you lose like, let's say like 2 pounds of fat, but you've been strength training really hard and you gain 2 pounds of muscle, the weight's not, the scale's not going to change. That's going to be the exact same, but the body composition changed. So then it's hard to know and decipher between, okay, what's fat, what's muscle, what's water, because that number still says the exact same thing. And then that becomes discouraging. So honestly,
you might be sleeping better. You might have more energy during the day. Your body might be flushing things out. Like you might just notice all of those things. So pay attention for sure.
yeah.
I love that.
So throw the scale out, ladies.
Throw that scale away.
Yeah, Nina.
I love it. Well, thank you so much, Monique. This has been such a pleasure. And
this has been so fun. Thank you.
Thanks everybody who tuned in and watched, and stay tuned for more. We've got lots of upcoming business and abundance interviews with so many incredible, amazing women. So we'll keep this going. Thank you so much. And everybody have a beautiful weekend and get your exercise, move your body.
Yes, and throw the scale out. Happy Saturday.